very warm welcome to Bharata First. I'm Rausan Pereira. This is FRP Explains. I'm here to talk about mental stress, better mental health, and anxiety. The best of the best go through it. Some of the biggest stars in movies, sports, or anywhere else have come forward and revealed how they suffer from depression. On the face of it, they look like they're having a good time and going through life easily. But what actually goes on within is a totally different story. And we as a society are not supportive enough to help them cope through these difficult times and only put more pressure on them. The latest incident being that of Naomi Osaka, the Japanese tennis player who rose to stardom after she defeated Serena Williams in 2018 at the US Open. The world was rooting for Serena Williams to secure her 24th Grand Slam title and create a record, but Osaka stood in the way, and it was not her fault. She was a young tennis player just trying to achieve her dreams. The match did not go according to plan as far as the fans at the Arthur Ashe Stadium and Serena Williams were concerned. And during the presentation ceremony, she was booed. The entire world got to know about this. And since then, Osaka has been talking about how she has been going through and tackling and battling depression. There have been many instances when she has come forward and said that she could not speak more than what she has just said. Several times during a press conference, she has had to walk away. Why? Not because she does not want to engage, but she's not able to. She has a problem with public speaking and facing the camera. Tennis is all that she knows to do in life. But the pressure of the spotlights is what she can't bear. There is another issue to all of this. Let's not forget that there are commitments that tournament organizers need to keep. Press conferences and players speaking out to the media are a big part of this exercise. And players are expected to do it. So the organizers too can't be blamed because they have prior commitments. So it's a very delicate and a difficult situation to be in. I hope that this is a watershed moment in sport and in tennis to talk about depression and to deal with this issue as a whole. Because if someone is going through such a tough time and such a tough phase, we have to find a way out. She has now decided to stay away from tennis for some time. It's a big loss to the tennis world, and she's really taken the tennis world by storm ever since she arrived on the scene in 2018. She has acted really mature both on the court and off the court, despite all the drama and despite everything that she has gone through and witnessed right from the start of the US Open in 2018. She's been really strong. She's endorsed the right kind of brands. She is the number one paid female athlete in the world because she has made the right kind of noises, spoken about the right causes, and carried herself really well. But if she has a problem, an issue that she cannot deal with, it's not her fault because it is a mental issue that she has to take care of. No matter how much of support anybody else gives her, if she is booed by fans, if she is not looked at very positively, and don't forget that is how she started off. So that trauma is something she carries on with her. And I have been, standing in front of the camera and speaking for at least 12 years now. So I know what it takes to do this. And I understand where she's coming from and what she's saying about public speaking and not being able to do that as well. The camera sometimes is even more scarier than the gun. And it becomes very difficult and people get tongue-tied. The best of the best get tongue-tied, while speaking in front of the camera. So I don't hold her accountable, or I understand exactly where she's coming from, because this is something that I've done all my life, so it's difficult. That's all I can say. Now, here's another aspect to this as well. Is there a middle ground that these players and others are going to find at some point in time? Because the media press conferences also these days have become very staged. There's a moderator who decides who can ask the question and who can't ask the question. There is just one question that a journalist can ask, and the player can decide whether to answer that or not. Many a times we've seen, even in India, cricketers just dismiss the questions, and all the other reporters who are present there just laugh it off, and that's about it. It's over. So it's become such a mundane exercise without any real information coming out of this. The players themselves are so very well trained by media organizers and others to give out these answers, and they do more. It's more like a staged kind of a press conference rather than a one-to-one or an interesting kind of a conversation between reporters and sports persons or anyone else giving the press conference. So it also comes down to a point of whether we need to have these press conferences or not. Because let's not forget, these players are not accountable to anyone, unlike elected representatives. Now, elected representatives who are supposed to talk in front of the media don't come out and talk in front of the media, and that's really unfortunate. This is a new trend that we are witnessing, a new trend that we are seeing, and it looks like the middle ground that these sports people and others are going to find are social media, and they'll continue to engage with fans that way. But the bigger issue of dealing with mental stress, depression, anxiety, and all these issues should be taken up in a more proactive manner by the society at large, and we should continue to support not just sports people but anyone who's going through depression in a positive way to try and get them out of it. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of FRP Explains. If you like the content, you may like the video, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and then all notifications. For those of you who would like to come forward and make a contribution, you may do so by using our UPI IDs. A small contribution that you make will be a giant leap for us to keep bringing you this content. Also, do leave your feedback and your suggestions in the comment section below, and let us know what you think about this particular issue. That's it from me. See you again next time.